How's it going there, folks? I'm Quinn of Snazzy Labs, and this is the video review of the Stanton DJ Pro 2000 headphones, which retail for $89 US. Now, $89 is the locked-in manufacturer's authorized retail price, so you're not going to find them anywhere cheaper online. $90 is what you are going to pay. Now, Stanton also has the DJ Pro 3000, which were released a couple of months ago, and what the 3000 really is designed to do is charge you $50 more and give you a little bit of a design change. The drivers are exactly the same, the sound is identical, and so I opted to go for the cheaper model, which is a couple years old. This was released in mid-2009. Now, Stanton is a sister company of Gibson, and what Stanton mostly did, and still what they mostly do, is make consumer mixer tables, and they also make mixing software for Mac and PC. So their turntables are kind of cool. However, they have bled into this headphone market as most people do. Now, Stanton kind of actually made this a niche headphone. It's not marketed towards the consumer market, and I'll show you why there are some blatant consumer mishaps in here and why they're probably not for the average person. But what you are going to get with the pair of headphones is this weird little ear pad. Of course, if you're DJing with one ear, you can flip one cup around and place this against your head. So instead of having a big plastic irritating cup, you get this nice little cushion. I've never used this. Most people won't use this, but I suppose if you're DJing, that's kind of handy to have. Now, you're also going to get a carrying case, nothing special, not a hard case. It's just a little pouch. Worth mentioning, but nothing to rave about. And last but certainly not least, you are going to get your cable. Now, this is where many people are going to begin to have issues. Now, as you can see, the gauge of this cable is actually quite thick, and I really, really do like the cable. The shielding on this is excellent. There's no noise. There's no rubbing. It really does sound pretty spectacular. Now, you are going to run into some problems, though. It does have 1 foot of coiling, which I think is great. I use these for drumming, and when I'm hooked up to my mixer, this is an excellent solution. However, if you're using this with your iPhone and your iPod, this is going to be a little bit goofy because the cord is already relatively long as it is, and then you have this big old heavy telephone cord here. So most people do not like this, and that is something you're going to want to note. Now, right here, you have your headphone jack, and this is where a lot of other problems persist. Now, by default, the jack is a 1/4 inch adapter, or a standard jack. Now, this is great if you're plugging into a mixer or if you're plugging into an amp, what have you. This works perfect, right? However, if you're plugging into an iPhone, an iPod, a desktop, PC, what most people are going to be plugging into, you're going to have this problem. Now, as you can see, you can plug it in and it still sounds great. These headphones are driven very, very easily, which is nice to see, so you can get good sound out of a lowly powered device like an iPhone. But what you're going to run into is this. As you can see, this is not very ergonomic, and in fact, it becomes more problematic than anything. There is a lot of heft and a lot of gauge on this, and it does not play nicely when it's inside your device. If you throw this in your pocket, it is very, very likely this is going to snap. You might break the headphone jack in your iPhone. It's just a mess right here, this whole thing. It's great if you DJ, plug it straight in, you got no problems, but what I wish Stanton would have done is what most headphone manufacturers do, and that is make the actual headphone jack a 1/8 inch adapter and then give you a 1/4 inch adapter for those who need it. Kind of annoying, but that's certainly something worth mentioning. Now, as I move down the cable to this part, most people, when I mentioned this whole problem, they were like, oh, well, I'll just use my own cable. And actually, you can't. Because unlike a lot of other headphones where the input is flush on the headphones, you do need to have this really, really deep, obscure cable. So because of this, you do need to use a Stanton cable. And they are designed specifically for the DJ Pro 2000. There are replacements, but it's just this cable. You can't get a cable designed for mobile use. So that's kind of annoying. That is what you have to do. And you cannot use your own cable, which is a bit of a Griffey smasher. Now, what you're going to find here is a stereo and mono switch. Stereo, of course, mixes stereo channels. You're going to get left in the left and right in the right. And mono mixes both the left and right channels into both earpieces. So if you do have one ear on, you can get the whole track through one earpiece. Obviously, most people are going to be rocking it in stereo mode. Now, this is a little bit too easy to bump. I often found myself bumping this, and it changed the sound. It makes it less desirable when both ear cups are on. Kind of annoying, and I wish that was a little bit out of the way. Now, of course, you're probably noticing how ugly these headphones are. These have to be some of the worst looking headphones I've ever seen. The silver is just super cheap. The Stanton obscurities are really, really bizarre. Just not very good typography. I don't like them. I don't like the design behind them. And the build quality, although it is nice, is not great. It's all plastic construction. You do find A couple of nice nuances like this Stanton logo up here. And these hinges appear to be relatively sturdy, but they are plastic. So that is certainly something to note and something to be cautious of. Now, they do fold up if you do want to fold them up. They don't fold up well, but they do fold up. And of course, they oscillate pretty much in any direction you'd like. So if you are DJing, you can modulate them to the way that you need them to go. Now, let's talk about the sound because, of course, when you buy a pair of headphones, that's the most important thing. The sound is really, really good, actually. The imaging is fantastic. Lyrics stick out like a charm. Soundstage is excellent. You can hear, instruments coming from out of nowhere. It really does sound nice. Now, it's not a flat response. It is a little bit bass heavy, but it's not incredibly bass heavy, especially not so for DJ headphones. There is a little bit of a bass heavy end, and you will get more bass than other genres, than the upper end and the mids. But the mids remain very, very lush, and the trebles are very present. And, they're not super bright. They're not in your face, but they're there and they're nice. And I really, really do like them. These aren't really particularly good at any one genre, but they are pretty good at almost every genre, even from rock to pop to electronica, dubstep to even classical and jazz. These really did transpose quite well. The problem, though, is the price tag. $90 is where we start to get into really, really good headphones. And that's why I cannot recommend the Stanton DJ Pro 2000, because for this price, $90, you could either go one end of the spectrum, save $20 and get the Koss Pro DJ 100s, sacrifice hardly anything in terms of audio quality and get arguably a significantly better build quality. Or you can spend about $20 to $30 more and get something like the audio-technica ATH M50s or the Shure SRH 840s, which have a far superior sound and a lot better build quality as well. I like these. I just can't recommend them because they're in a price point that's really competitive, and there are other headphones out there that are a lot better for just a little bit more. My final review on the Stanton DJ Pro 2000 is if this is exactly what you need, great. But for most people, it's not going to work, and there are better options out there, even for less money. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe, rate, comment, and as always, stay snazzy. See you later, folks.